No.
Oh my God, it's the best thing ever. I got to send it to the group. So it's this baby and she's yelling at Will Ferrell for the rent money. And she was like, I don't give a shit, bitch. Give me my money. And he was like, you don't have to be mean. It's so funny.
Oh, boy.
Oh, my God. It's so funny. I have to send it. I have to forward it. It's the funniest thing ever. I was dying at work. It's called Baby Boss Landlord.
I think I've seen that.
I'm sending it to our group right now.
Maybe I didn't see it. I don't know.
Right this second. I was actually looking for the thing to send.
I'm going to start getting a text message saying, hey, you guys know you're live, right?
Yeah. I don't care. Are we drinking this?
We are. Are we?
Why not?
Sure.
I don't know. Tonight's episode is brought to you by Bourbon Cream. I'm just kidding. It's not brought to you by anybody. We start going that way.
Oh, you dripped it already down.
Oh, sorry. I'm bringing a napkin. My bad. Sticky fingers.
Hold on.
All right. Show prep.
All right. Show prep.
Oh, shit.
Show prep.
There we go.
Cheers.
All right.
Cheers.
Cheers to everybody.
Oh, you can't slam that. That is so good.
No, it's so yummy.
That's good.
I know. I had to slam it. So
Hold on. I got to send this to everybody.
We're on.
Oh, shit. Hi.
Lynn's like, hi.
Sorry, I'm sending stuff to people.
My headphones on.
If you're one of the people getting messages from me right now, you should have already been on.
You know what I just realized?
What?
Oh, here's our intro.
We're missing our intro.
I was like, what happened?
I got it right
Hi,
here.
everyone.
Welcome, everybody. Warning. The views in this program are based on the opinions of hosts and guests. We are four friends who like to sit around and talk about a variety of topics. This show may be political in nature and may appear one-sided if no one of opposition joins in on the conversation. We try to find common ground on sometimes sensitive topics. So grab a beverage of your choice and let's have a conversation.
You go home and cry to your granny. Dolph, tie up the brat. Lisa, hold the book. Vincent, get the truck. And Keith, darn it, change your name, please. That's not scary, and I'm embarrassed to say it. Boris, try that. Keith, oh, watch out for Keith.
Be something I would do anyway.
I think that's hilarious. You do that.
Do I? Really?
You do. You growl.
Do I?
You like,
wow, it's news to me.
I was going to say, I don't think I've experienced it, but okay.
It's when he's like in that mood. And it's like, it's kind of like,
do I grunt or do I growl? There's a difference.
Not on the receiving end.
I don't know.
Is this thing working? Okay.
Well, hello, everyone.
Yes, welcome to Coffee Table Chronicles. We are on episode, what are we? It's episode 22, right?
22.
Did you just say epidotically?
No, 21.
21? Yeah,
21.
it is 21. I'm thinking
Otherwise,
22.
I am watching the wrong episode on Rumble.
I don't even know.
Crap, I'm watching last week's.
Last week's
was good, though.
Today is Friday, January 14th. Yes, lots to do tonight. We got a packed show tonight.
Lot of stuff.
Want to say hi to everybody who's joining us tonight. We do appreciate it. Hey, we are on a new social media site.
What?
We are on Getter.
Are we? Awesome. Go
Seriously?
get her, huh?
True.
Like, get her done?
I was
Get her
just going to
done.
say that. Get her done.
That's great.
Yep, we are on
Like,
Getter.
you went and get her.
And hopefully we're kind of doing some of the research on what we can do for Gab.
I never heard of Gab until today.
What's Gab?
It's another one.
Oh,
Are you okay?
she's not. She's having her moment.
That's
We're
hilarious.
4 minutes in.
And this is
Like, you went and get her done.
this is the point where Lindsay loses it.
All right.
Oh gosh, she's gonna start
boy.
choking.
She's gonna be a puddle by the end of the show, right?
You okay? Jeez.
No, my bronchitis is still really bad.
Stop it! You're spreading the Omicron. Stop it.
I don't have the Omicron.
All right, we got lots to get through.
Yes, we do. So let's get to it. We got a lot of
All right.
we got a lot of memes this week. So I kind of sprinkled yours in
Okay.
through it because I
Like
really
glitter?
thought
We were gonna skip my memes because Keith had a lot.
your memes are good though. So that's
Did
what I
you?
thought.
Did I send you the puppy dog one?
No, you did not.
Oh,
So we'll save that for next week. Do it for next week.
it's so
Do it
cute.
next week. All right, start with number one right here. If your pillow looks like this, you can survive Omicron.
Right?
Yeah, who just had their pillows washed
We
last
don't need
week?
to talk about that. Anyway, there's a new variant coming out called. Well, I don't even know how you say that, but just read it backwards.
Nibinajacrinaruf.
You want to try that again?
Nope.
Nibinajacrinaruf.
Wow, that's probably
That's not too
close.
bad.
That wasn't too
All right,
bad.
it's pretty good.
Yeah.
We can't eat inside, but we get it outside, but it's cold, so we set up outside and as inside, and it's fine because it's outside inside.
Makes no sense.
We
And
did
it only,
that in
and
New
it only makes
Mexico.
you sick, which means guess what? You can't go inside.
Right.
Right.
So either way, you're
Can you?
screwed,
But can you go inside outside?
possibly.
Mm.
I like this one. They asked for a picture of my horse when I went to get ivermectin, so I showed them Kamala Harris. When they looked at me funny, I said, "Oh, you said horse, not whore."
No.
Oh. But jump.
Dun, dun, dun. I got a kick out of this one. It was kind of stupid, but it was funny.
That's
That's
cute. That's
great.
funny.
I love
Right?
that.
That's
I
funny.
I
like
would
that.
I'm actually gonna
100%
go-
do that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go do that.
right. Now, John, I am kind of
100%.
embarrassed to say this one took me a minute to figure out, but then I got it. So
You got to look at it.
I know. At first, I was like, "What are they talking about here?" Then I got it.
I don't get
Watching
that.
Wendy.
I don't get it.
You don't get it.
No.
So
Spy A, Spy B. What's the third one?
Chili's.
spicy.
No, Spy C. And then what's the
And
last
then-
one?
Spider-Man.
Spicy.
Spy D.
Oh, Lord help me.
It took me a minute. To get that.
Wow.
Dun, dun, dun.
All me and Wendy have to say is wow.
Well, at least they,
They could explain
explained
it.
it to us.
Right.
I have
We
no
did. We
problem
explained
saying
it.
what
Yeah.
the fuck do you mean?
Yeah. Uh-huh. That's okay.
So don't worry about
Wow.
exercising, nutrition, or anything like that. Just cover your face with an old diaper and take our toxic science experiment.
See,
Yeah.
wear your diaper on
Wear-
your face.
Wear your diaper.
So I said that at work.
No, you did not.
I swear to God, I did. I was so sorry. It like slipped out.
This is so funny. It's so true,
It
unfortunately.
is so true.
At first glance, you say you had an arrow through your head, but I want to run a COVID test to make sure. That is awesome.
So you'll have COVID and an arrow through your head.
Yep.
People that take memes seriously are the same people that think a stripper likes them.
Right?
Yes, but she loves me.
I should have saved that to the last meme. but-
Yes. You
Yeah,
She
should
that
have.
would've
loves
been
me.
funny, right?
Timing is like all important.
See, I sent you that.
This is a good one. Society that keeps cures a secret so they can continue to sell medication for huge profits is not a society, but a huge mental asylum.
Right?
Dun, dun, dun.
Yep.
Dun, dun, dun.
This one was funny. When I really looked at this one, this one was funny.
Oh, bro, I didn't read that earlier. Come on.
Now you cannot
You
unsee
can't
it.
unsee it. No.
Nope.
I will never
You
unsee
can't.
that.
Oh, that's not right.
Or Idaho.
Freaking hilarious.
Yep.
No, if there was just a hand on Wyoming to like,
I love this. This is great.
She was the best.
So
Yeah.
appropriate, right?
where'd she go?
She's actually on Fox.
Is she?
Wasn't she touring with who was it? There was a group of them.
Right?
touring.
Oh,
that is
for
so
real. Bro, for real. The man that's a woman.
We got Mr. Rogan in the news a little bit
Terrifying.
later too. So, and this is what I say.
Oh,
to
is
the,
that him?
Yeah.
I didn't know he had tattoos.
Oh, yeah.
Huh.
I'm telling you, they're eating us. You and your conspiracy theories.
That's funny.
Oh, that's great. That is great. All right, that's it for memes of the week. Hey, Christine. We got Bios to
Hi,
Books
Christine.
on. which is
Are you
that.
feeling better, Christine? We missed you.
Kathleen?
We sent you hugs last week.
We did. We sent you virtual hugs.
You have to watch it though. John did a thing for you and the kids
He did,
just
she did.
for
She
you.
Oh, he did,
yeah. Did she?
She commented on YouTube. I
Okay, good.
I didn't get a chance to send it to you guys, but I'll send it to you guys later. She did make a comment on YouTube, so
I was like, he did that just for you.
Yes, he did.
No, I did it for the kids.
I had no idea what was happening, just so you know. But apparently he knew all of them.
Hey, Wendy Clark's on. Hey, Wendy.
Oh, my
Another Wendy. Awesome.
I miss my Wendy.
That's Ghost Wendy.
Oh, hugs.
That's
I
Ghost
know.
Wendy.
That's
Ghost
my
Wendy.
ghost Wendy. Oh.
All right, news of the week.
News
You
of the
ready?
week.
We got it spun up. We are ready to go.
I'm just
All
barely
right.
getting into
So
Rumble.
big news. This
Big
is
news.
something that
Big news.
Big news. CDC director was quoted as of last week saying the overwhelming number of COVID deaths, like over 75%, occurred in people who had at least 4 comorbidities.
Are you fucking shitting me?
Ooh.
If only they could have released this information.
We really talking
early
about
on.
this
She
now.
said that live on television.
Wow.
On
And
Good
nobody
Morning America.
said no shit.
On Good Morning America, she said this.
Can I say something?
Sure.
Yes. We've been saying this all along, but we've been labeled as conspiracy theorists.
Right?
Sure. Yep.
A year
It's
later,
unfortunate.
Right.
now we're talking
Now
about
she
this.
says that, yeah.
It's interesting that so many are coming out with a lot of truths now that should have been doing it all along. And
So-
I'm glad that you're doing it, but where were you
A year ago,
a year ago, a year and a half ago?
when we talked about this and said, hey, if you're fat and eat McDonald's every day, you should probably change your lifestyle and take vitamins so you don't die from this thing.
That was
Right.
kind of pointed.
It was pretty pointed.
There was another meme that I
Stop
saw.
eating McDonald's and take your vitamins.
I don't even McDonald's.
I know.
Well, there was a meme that I saw earlier this week that I didn't save, where it said, if you need a COVID-19 vaccine card to be able to get in to eat McDonald's, it's not about health.
I saw that too.
It's like, okay.
I did not, but that's funny.
Yeah.
In the social front, Queen Elizabeth strips her son of military titles and royal patronage.
Really?
I saw
Yes.
that because
He
it's
has been cut
Wow.
loose.
So he is just a normal Joe Blow.
Yep.
Oh,
Can I
But
put
that's
this up real
due
quick?
to
Yeah,
child
absolutely.
pornography.
Hey, Wendy,
or what was
don't hold back. Say what you feel.
it?
don't.
Bad week. They are
Like-
having a bad day.
Yeah.
The last 24 hours has been bad for them.
Yes.
That's
Sorry.
okay. I'm okay. Hold on. Did I get my crying towel out for them yet?
No.
Okay.
Sorry, Wendy. I
Then
didn't
I'm
mean to
good.
interrupt you.
No, you're
Uh,
fine. So why was he stripped of for those that don't know, why was he stripped of his
So
military
Prince
titles?
Andrew has been labeled as being one of the main defendants. I guess is that technically so the women that were on the island as teenagers, the Jeffrey Epstein Island as teenagers and young girls, several of them have picked out Prince Andrew as being one of the
Oh, really?
yes.
So
Seriously?
Yes, and so
I'm curious to see who else they named then.
Yeah,
if he's the
this is the
first.
first domino.
What?
This is the first domino.
I would not have guessed that.
He's got this reputation of being a really nice guy.
Yeah.
no.
Married with the kid and the babies and all the stuff now.
So now this is
Is
Prince-
he
this
the
is
one
not-
that was married to what's her name? Sarah
From here, right? The one that's from America?
Sarah Ferguson or something like that? No.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. So she is Charles's brother, or he is Charles's brother.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
He's the other one.
Yeah. So he's a nice guy.
I still wouldn't have guessed it from either one.
Charles is kind of stuck up and a little snooty and very British.
Yeah.
And Prince Andrew has always been kind of just the average Joe
Chill.
Blow. Hey, I'm never going to be the king.
Whatever,
but I'm
yeah.
Just,
Okay.
just
Okay.
call me the Duke of whatever. And, hey,
We're good.
yeah, we're good. But, hey, by the way, I'm taking this private jet over to the Caribbean and don't ask me what I'm doing.
What?
Whoops.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
It should be it should
Karma
be
is
interesting
karma
to see
is
what
going
else
to come back and haunt him
Yes.
really, really bad.
That's
comes
bad.
out.
Yeah, they not only stripped him of his military titles, but he is also lost. It was funny. I was watching a report where they said he's lost his,
Like access and everything?
well, everything, the money, the whole thing. They call it
Oh,
the,
he's been cut off, huh?
So he's literally like Joe
the
Blow.
RHS is what they, your Royal Highness. So,
So he's no longer your Royal Highness?
no,
You saying you're fucked.
So what is he?
just
Fucking Andrew?
He's Joe Blow.
Andrew, whatever.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, and
With
so-
Wendy, because we have to go to Sholo tomorrow, and I've already come up with a way to not deal with that traffic issue.
and Wendy and
They
I
say he's
we
flying into Mesa Gilbert right here.
That won't be.
Oh, is he?
okay.
No,
And so yeah,
that's
I was like,
unfortunately,
awesome.
Florence. I mean, it's
it's a small town.
it's one lane each way in and
Yeah.
out.
Yep,
I
which
don't
is
know
why
how
we're
they're
not
gonna-
going that
It's
way.
going to be crazy. This
We're
is
going
where
down
they're-
Arizona
But then
Avenue.
again,
I was
this
going to
is the
say, you
same-
going 4-wheeling right straight across?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
This is where they go for Country Thunder, so they
Yep.
have to have it figured
Yep.
out.
So they're going
Sure.
back and down through the way we used to go, but now we're going to go across our Arizona Avenue and miss all of that. Or we might just go up Ironwood and go the long way and not mess with any of it either
All right,
way.
Continue on.
Student loan processor Navient required to cancel $1.7
saw
billion
that.
in student
I
loans.
saw that.
Were you one of those?
For
I don't
what?
think so.
They so the short version of this is they
Predatory loans, basically. weren't
basically,
they?
yeah, that's the
In-
best way to
in-
put
in
it.
a
So
way.
they gave loans to students who they knew were not going to be able to repay them.
Right.
Damn it.
Okay.
Why can you have a real job?
Did you see the bad news that came out of Philadelphia? That row house fire that killed 13 people.
Oh, yeah.
Killed
No.
12.
Sad.
Another adult died in the hospitals, and 9 of them were children. out of the
Oh,
13
Because that
that
was last week
sucks.
that happened, or over the weekend.
over the weekend.
Okay.
And
Oh,
so and
that's
it's
so
a really
sad.
sad story. They a 5-year-old is telling. So one of the few survivors is a 5-year-old who said that he was the one that was playing with a lighter,
Oh,
next to a Christmas tree.
Oh boy.
and so
Oh,
apparently
no.
the tree just the
Oh,
lighter of the
instantly.
tree went up,
Ugh.
and so it's horrible
Oh, that's
situation.
terrible. Well, our prayers
So-
go out for that families.
On a lighter note, Georgia beat Alabama obviously to claim the national championship. I think everybody in the country has heard of this. So
Is that
go-
football?
Yes, college
Okay.
football. So go Bulldogs. And so Nick Saban,
oh no, roll tide. Roll, what is it?
Roll Tide.
Yeah, no.
So Nick Saban, who is the coach of Alabama, though I saw he was a real class act. He was very, very gracious loser, and he even spent the time in front of the press thanking his 2 captains for all that they did, and even though they took the brunt of, they are the ones that shouldered the loss. He said they did a lot just to get them to that point, and they
Yeah.
should have nothing to hang their head about.
Be
So,
sad for. That's cool.
So that was good. I like Nick Saban. He's a good guy.
Good sportsmanship. What?
Yeah. US News has the best job rankings. Since we have a lot to go through and not a lot of time, I'm just going to say some interesting things. Go back and take a look at it. They had some of the best non-college jobs were police officers, and I was like, okay, that doesn't seem.
Really?
Cops are taking a beating right now. And
Mhm.
I feel really bad for cops right now, and
Oh,
I
no
have
kidding.
some very good friends who are cops, and they're
It's not pretty.
it's not
Mm.
pretty. On the economy front, PayPal launches its U.S. backed, dollar backed cryptocurrency.
What's going on with that? Are they
Plans to
still
launch it.
tracing everybody, or like the non? So if you
Oh
send,
yeah, they're required to by law.
well, if you send somebody money as a friend, like, is it still? Because like we bought stuff for our trains, and they're like, "Oh, send it to me as
You have
friends
to
and
be
family."
you have to be family members in the same household for it to not be.
How do
counted.
they know that though? Truly, how do they know that?
Well, no. The
So
reason.
you
the
haven't
reason
heard
why,
of, so you haven't heard of all the data scraping that Facebook and
No.
all that has been doing.
You
That's how they know.
You expect me to
but
actually
the
pay
reason
attention?
why, hold on though, the reason why PayPal does the friend thing is because for just a general transaction, PayPal charges you. So they charge a percentage of the transaction. So if you do it as a friend to friend, PayPal doesn't charge you. You don't get that
Okay.
fee.
Oh, so you don't get
So-
the charge, but
right.
they still trace it.
Right. But
Okay.
if we buy a train from that guy we
Yeah.
buy from, if we pay $10,
Friends,
he
he
only
gets all
gets like
$10.
$8.50
Oh,
on a normal
what?
purchase because PayPal takes a
Yeah.
Yeah,
percentage
it's
of
just
it.
like a credit card.
Right. So if you do it
Yeah.
as a friend to friend transaction, he
gets
gets
all
the full
$10.
amount and it doesn't take it. So that's the whole purpose of the friend to friend thing.
Okay,
Anyway,
never mind
sorry.
then.
So, as if if this was a newspaper and you have to decide what's going to be the headline, there was a couple of big things this week that, the second one. So I had to pick. I figured that the whole CDC director finally spilling the beans about 4 comorbidities.
No, that was a good
Mhm.
one.
That was a
good.
big one because that's
Yeah.
that's
That's
the last
huge.
2 years of our life. Right?
Huge.
So
Bless you.
But then, inflation for 2021 has hit 7% in December. And I just found this nice little chart here that kind of shows the last 10 years and where we stand with inflation.
That's a good year.
I mean, this is an article out of, that's the Wall Street Journal. This is an article out of USA Today. This is even the BBC. I mean, even over in Europe, they're going, oh, you guys are screwed.
And what was it during Trump? 1.4.
Well, I mean, in 2017, it was 2.1, then it went down to 1.9, and then it was 2.3, and then 1.4, for 2020. So, and now we're at 7.
Wow.
What did we spend for a steak?
That was one of the dogs.
The dog was very upset about that when I said that.
It wasn't me growling.
What did we pay for a steak?
Keith.
Like 30. It was like $20-something for a steak.
Yes, it's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
Yes, it is.
And it wasn't even a very good steak. Like,
you could have gone to the store, gotten your own.
That was at the store. That was at the store.
Oh, it was
still
store?
$20 steak, and it was a top sirloin. It wasn't even that good of a steak. Like, what the frack?
So on a minor John PSA. So I was watching this actually today. So California has got on the ballot again, single payer healthcare.
What does that mean?
They've been trying this for decades, actually.
Yeah.
And so literally what's on the ballot right now is that they're going to do the largest. So what they want to do is they want to disengage from all other healthcare plans, federal, company, everything.
They're a shithole anyhow. Let them.
Well,
go for it, boo-boo.
I'm going there. You're reading ahead. So they're requesting to do the largest tax increase in California history.
Right.
But I mean, on the flip side, there's going to be no premiums, no co-pays, no deductibles for this healthcare insurance.
So who's paying for it?
It's going to be the largest tax increase in California history.
Oh, okay.
So then, but there's no choice. I mean, everything else is going to be banned. You have to, if you're living in California, you have to be on this plan. It's going to be
so if I live in California, I have no choice.
No choice,
Fuck
zero
you.
choice. And so that's going to be state run, and it's also going to be, it's actually written in the rule, it's going to be concealed from public view. It's going to be run by bureaucrats and concealed from the public view.
Oh, that's going to go over just swimmingly.
So going to go
great.
great.
You hear all the stories about Canada and the rationed healthcare.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes you kind of just wonder, rationed healthcare. Can anybody say when all of a sudden you can't pay for it all, there's going to have to be some drawbacks?
Yeah.
So what would I do in that instance?
You think?
Because my medication is ridiculous. Who's going to be the first one to get dropped?
Right. Well, and there's going to be, and that's the thing. And there's going to be the whole issue of, well, we're not going to pay for that hip replacement, and we're not going to pay for
exactly.
that.
Like,
my
medication is ridiculous.
Where there was there was the, right to try that was signed in 2018. Yeah. All of a sudden that's not going to be the case because it's experimental. So we're not paying for it.
What the fuck?
Which they're using that currently with ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine.
And monoclonal antibodies too.
Yeah.
So, but part of me wants to say, and this is the, from what exactly that was just mentioned, part of me wants to say, let them do it.
Let them do it. Let them have California. I'm over it. But enough. But my issue is if we do that, the people who were on the fence about staying there are not going to. And where are they going to go?
Here.
Well, but they're going to go everywhere. They're going to.
They're not though. Everybody ends up here.
It's another reason as to why people are going to end up just leaving California altogether. So the whole system is going to crash. But part of me just says, let them do it.
Let them do it.
Let the rest of the country watch. If they want single payer, government run healthcare, we see how the government runs everything else. Let them do it. Let them watch and see how the
let Pelosi run that herself.
And
she's running to Florida. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but is her permanent residence in Florida?
It will be.
It will be.
Yeah, I doubt that.
And it's all part of the pendulum swinging. I mean, we're seeing the pendulum swinging one way, and it can only go so far until things break, and it comes back, and we're due for it to come back. The downside
is that
we're at that up of the pendulum, so we got to wait for it to.
Exactly. It's you got to prove that this isn't gonna. Your ideas aren't gonna work. We all pay for it, unfortunately, but
let them do it.
Then we come back to a better place, unfortunately.
I'm just scared of that.
Does that
We're
really say
just
a
all
growing
out of-
global potato shortage?
On the supply chain front, a growing global potato shortage is affecting French fries from Japan to Kenya.
Really?
This is another that could have possibly have been the headline story.
Is that a bad thing? I mean, French fries, come on. Maybe
French fries are
overrated.
good.
Oh, wait, these are French fries we're talking about.
They're overrated. I'm sorry.
Think about your tater tots at OEB.
Yes.
They suddenly disappeared.
This is
tater tots are different.
This is true
fries.
life, though. This is real life. Like, this isn't bullshit anymore. If you're going to talk about tater tots at OEB, like, this isn't right.
It's not real
and
potatoes.
our beer should be ready soon.
So OEB is
it
the
is ready.
local
We were there
brewery
last
that we love to go to,
It's
and
there.
Are you serious?
What?
It's ready?
So there's a local brewery here called OEB, or Old Ellsworth Brewery. They have a
What is it called? Because I was going to message them
they have a
today
beer.
and
So
to be
when
like,
we were
hey,
there during New Year's Eve.
2 weeks ago.
We were sitting near one of the
where their things are.
The vats are.
There you go.
And so one of the brewmasters actually let us get a little, sample out of the vats of something that was about a week away from being ready.
Yeah.
So
what was it? Fruit something or other? Hella fruit?
I don't know.
Lots of fruit?
Something like
some
that.
shit like that.
Something.
So we were there last week, and so Wendy tried it.
Was it good?
Was it good? Oh, damn it.
So you gotta get there before it's gone.
That's mean.
No, go there tomorrow.
That you would go and not
go there.
I should have brought a growler, huh?
We'll go there Sunday.
Go there Sunday.
Okay. We have so much shit to do this weekend.
We'll go there Sunday.
Okay.
So I'll zip through a couple of these real quick. Supply chain problems expected to persist. Could further inflation prices.
Of course, why not?
Outlook on global economy could fuel social unrest. World Economic Forum says that. Global growth will slow in 22 due to inflation, supply chain disruptions, and Omicron, according to the UN.
So we have seen we do a lot of the corporate stuff at our hotels. They're coming after your French fries, Dad. Yours too, Christine. So we've had a lot of people cancel because of this Omicron. So they're not having their meetings. So it is going to slow productions for these companies because they're flying people in to have these meetings and they're not anymore.
Yep.
So
you're jumping ahead.
Okay, sorry.
Let's go to health and COVID. Health experts say Omicron is headed for a sharp drop. Most Americans will get affected. Anyone confused?
No, I have something to go along with that later, though.
All right. Did you see the story that came out earlier this week that cannabis could help fight COVID?
No, that's great. You brought that up to me today. That's interesting.
Oh,
I heard Apple sent me that.
So the short version of the story is the fact that it's before the cannabis oil gets to full whatever. So before the plant gets to full growth, maturity.
Okay.
There's two different aspects of it. Now, it's two different vitamins or minerals or something like that you pull out of the plant, and that makes it into this certain thing. So there's nothing that gets you high or anything like that, but there is something that's in a immature cannabis plant that they are researching right now that has positive results in the fact that it might actually stop COVID.
This sounds like a great,
interesting follow up.
Great plan for a future episode and have my brother on because he works with cannabis.
See, and that would be, I would love to hear his point of that.
He knows a lot.
Because that's interesting because essentially the weed that people smoke are the flower of the plant.
Well, your body has.
So it matures, but I wonder, nobody ever does anything with the plant before it matures because it's just a plant.
Yes and no. There's lots of hemp things that are out there.
Yeah, but that's like hemp hats and stuff because they use the plant to make stuff. But pulling the minerals and stuff before it's matured is interesting.
A lot of people don't know your body has how do you say it? Cannabinoid receptors or something like
Cannabinoid.
that. I don't know if it's cannabinoid or however you say it. Anyway, our body has receptors for that.
Yeah.
And that's why cannabis is so
Cannabis is great.
And I'm not going to overspeak it because I don't know shit about it.
I did a huge paper about it for one of my classes, one of my things I had to do about that and PTSD.
That's it. I think
because you have receptors for it.
It does actually.
It's huge.
There's been lots of
huge.
There have been lots of studies about how it helps PTSD.
Huge, because it hits those same receptors that PTSD patients have open because of that injury. Like it's insane what it does.
Hey, real quick, I want to shout out to the people that are on YouTube right now. We got a pretty decent number on there.
Hey guys,
if you guys are on there and you're joining us for the first time, please go subscribe, like, share, and subscribe to our channel. We really appreciate it. We're also on Rumble
Angela,
as well.
I have plans for the plant.
If you want to attempt the Rumble feat,
you do.
We are on YouTube, Rumble, and hopefully soon to be
Get Her
or
Gab
TV. So
what is it?
Gab TV.
Gab.
GAB.
Oh, that's not as fun as Get Her.
All right, keep going. We got a lot to cover.
We got a lot to cover. TSA
Moving
confiscated record number of guns at airports, checkpoints in 2021. I have a whole thing on. I'll bring this up in a different episode. 15 most bizarre things that the TSA confiscated.
Oh, that would be interesting.
I'm just going to tell you that one of them was a chainsaw.
That should be.
Oh yeah.
Hey, that should be one of
TSA.
That should be one of our things.
Oh, I might have to do that.
Maybe. Right.
All right. Immigration, southern border. Obviously, Border Patrol reports that 1,066% increase
sad.
in fentanyl just seized in Texas.
That's sad.
That's crazy.
Blah, blah, blah.
Fentanyl is so bad.
Politics. The other third big headline that there was possible was the Supreme Court blocks Biden's vaccine mandate for large employers. Did not do it for medical personnel.
Yeah,
nope.
that's.
And do you know why that is?
I don't understand.
Do you know why?
Why?
We've talked about this,
but I still don't understand how that if it's
how are they cherry picking this?
If it's federal overreach for 99% of all other.
It's got to be all about the money. Or
exactly.
Something.
So because at the very, very, very beginning of this all, you remember the COVID relief fund,
right?
We're gonna help these people. We're gonna give you a COVID relief fund.
Mm-hmm.
In that, I'm gonna accept umpteen $1 billion from you. Probably, I have no idea.
So now
that
it's an
contract
thing.
No, that contract said within a year your staff has to be 80% vaccinated
to be able to
to keep that money. So a year from now, mandate. That's why none of the hospitals did it at the same time. That's why everything was delayed, because it started in the South first, because I don't know why, that's where it hit first. So that's why you heard about 6 months after I got let go. Oh, now Alabama's saying, never mind. They're giving the money back because their hospital's going to close. Like they're at the point now to where like, we're going to give you the money back because if not, we're going to be out of business.
Right.
So that's where it's at. So that's why the hospitals and healthcare will never be able to be under that mandate.
Another story that was from this week is California has changed their healthcare rules for nurses and healthcare professionals and allowing them to come to work with COVID.
I saw that.
Yes, okay. That's in Arizona too, boo-boo.
I'm reading ahead.
Hold on, though. Before we move on from that topic, so closer to home, the feds now say the money that was given to Ducey for the state, I think for education, they're saying that if they don't implement mask mandates and some other things that they have to return the money. And
return the money.
Ducey basically said, you know what, I'm not bending.
Yeah,
it is
bye.
what it is. We're not doing
have the money.
Mandates.
Well, and then there's that ASU kid that's suing ASU for making him wear the mask.
Right.
Because he said, Ducey said himself, like, you can't make me wear it. ASU saying, oh, no, we have the right to. And he's suing him. He's a law student. Come on now. You can't truly implement that on law students.
That's something different that I want to talk with John later in the show.
It's crazy.
But, I thought you were talking about after the show.
No. During the show, I have a question. So
okay.
Oh, no.
Stock trading by Congress and staffers. 182 staffers failed to disclose their stock trades by the deadline. And this is on both sides of the aisle. They're saying that insider trading has been rampant, and you see all these people in Congress that have big bucks. This is where they've
gotten it from.
Suspecting that this is where they've made it.
Pfizer, Moderna,
Tesla,
Alphabet.
Yeah.
You want to know why there's a reason why they have not been quick to want to put down Facebook, Twitter, and Google for overreach. Yeah.
Oh, I'm Pelosi, and I just bought 1 million shares of Tesla 2 days before the stock went up. Oh, that's surprising.
Right. And unfortunately, the president's approval ratings are now at a new all-time low of 33%.
Did you say unfortunately? It was expected.
It was expected, but
hold on.
Part of me wants to sit there and say it's the exact same thing as it was in 2016. We don't want our president to fail because we're all failing.
True. Right. Yeah, we will all fail.
I mean, unfortunately, he is the pilot of the plane, and we're all going down.
On it. Yeah. We're at a 45% decline into the mountain.
All right. That is the end of my news.
I like the Titanic.
Look at Bios to Books comment. That's funny.
What was it?
I agree.
Probably.
I will say Bios, though. The one thing that's curious is who are the 33% that think everything is good?
He's still doing okay.
I mean, that's more than just those that are in DC.
That wasn't his 80 million, was it?
Yeah, that might be, right? That's him, Pelosi, and Kamala, who thinks he's still doing good.
Oh, man. Good times.
Not funny.
Good stuff. All right. So that kind of segues when you were talking about California's healthcare system, kind of segues into tonight's topic, because I was going to say elections have consequences. And these are the consequences.
Yes, they do.
So our topic tonight is elections. And I want to kind of get into some election laws, talk about the basics of, what are the basic rules to being allowed to vote here in the United States.
Okay.
So
be 18 and be a citizen.
Well, I pulled this up off of.
Is that not right?
I don't know what website I pulled it up off of. Where is
election ballots?
I did more reading about this than I ever thought.
Oh, Lord, hold on. Okay, you ready? That? I can.
No.
You can vote in U.S. federal, state, and local elections if you are a U.S. Sorry, I've had a bottle of wine. Are a U.S. citizen. Some areas allowed non-citizens to vote in local elections only.
Local elections only.
Meet your state's residency requirements. You can be homeless and still meet the requirements. You are 18 years old on or before election day. Sorry, it's in blue. It's so hard to read.
It is hard to read. Yeah.
This is a terrible choice you made.
Well, when I had it right in front of me, I could read it.
I bet. In almost every state, you can register to vote before you turn 18 if you will be 18 by election day. You are registered to vote by your state's voter registration deadline. North Dakota does not require voter registration. Really?
Yep.
So then you go on to who can't vote. Non-citizens, including permanent legal residents, cannot vote in federal, state, and most local elections. Some people with felony convictions, rules vary by state. Check with your state elections office about the laws in your state. Some people who are mentally incapacitated, rules vary by state again. For president in the general election, U.S. citizens residing in U.S. territories.
Huh.
So turn me back on.
Turn you back on.
Oh, my goodness. Uh-oh. Really? Are we doing this again?
Let's do this.
So this is some of the demographics on voting. So there used to be poll taxes. Did you know that?
Yes.
So that was actually outlawed by the 24th Amendment. And the whole idea was it was mostly.
What's a poll tax?
So it was a tax that you had to pay to vote.
What?
Yeah. And it was mostly designed by the Confederate States to stop. And it was
for the rich, basically.
Not even that. It was literally to prevent blacks and the poor from voting.
Well, same thing.
That's messed up.
There used to be all sorts of crazy rules that you had to have so much property that you owned. You had to be a citizen
So you had to prove you were a rich person.
There were literacy tests. There were all sorts of crazy things that it's funny.
What?
Oh yeah, when you read into it, I mean, there's, like I said,
so you had to be able to spell Talakapaki, and then you'd be okay.
So much information that I have read over the last week just trying to research for this show that it was crazy. So the literacy test, next one, was abolished in 1965. That's when it was abolished.
1965?
That's not that long
ago.
Holy
crap, that's not long ago.
That was 2 years before I was born.
I mean, so the whole point was that,
So what did you do for that? Like, how did you prove a literacy test?
Now, this wasn't across the country, but this was certain states. It was outlawed with the Voting Act of 1965, but there were a handful of states that actually had that.
What?
Pre-registration age, it varies because, again, keep in mind, and this is the whole point of what the federal government is advocating for now, is the fact that they want to. So the Voting Rights Act that they are trying to, and the John Lewis Voting Act, what they're trying to do is they are trying to federalize voting. And the idea is not so much that they want to take it away from the states, but they want to approve everything that the states do. So if the states want to make a change to their voting law, it has to be okayed by the federal government. And again,
that's a long reach.
That doesn't seem like that's
a long reach.
And so again, so they have pre-registration ages from 16 and 41 states, and DC 17 in 4 states, 17 and a half or older in 4 states. Like you said, Keith, about
I don't know if I want a 16-year-old
voting status.
They don't know that much.
So it all depends on each state. It's 20.
18-year-olds are not very smart either.
20 states have it that you can vote if you're under probation.
Okay. Which to be on probation does not take a lot. So I'm not horribly against that.
Right.
And some felonies are not bad things.
You did not just say that, right?
I did.
There is a certain.
As in not like being able to know what's going on in the world.
I mean, I will say that to a certain extent. I mean, I would be the kind, if it were me and the world according to John, it would be if you had committed a capital offense. Okay.
Yes.
I could see you not
like you murdered somebody. You don't get to.
On the other hand, if you get
like check fraud or whatever. Like that doesn't get you to not be able to vote.
Yeah, if you're sitting on death row.
Yeah, you're sitting on death row because you murdered your girlfriend. Yeah. Like, fuck you. You can just not. Yeah.
But like you said, no voter registration in North Dakota. Online voter registration, you can read it here. It's fully in 40 states, but there are states that don't. Automatic voter registration, same-day registration, partisan affiliations.
So I want to know how. Because every time I voted, I've either done it in person or through mail-in.
Okay.
But how do you not show your ID when you show up? Like, how do you do that? I really kind of want to. I really kind of want to do it next time and see what they tell me.
I mean, it says right here, no photo ID required in 3 states.
Like, what do you?
Non-photo ID is requested in 13 states.
You need Illinois a photo to get on a plane.
A non-photo ID. What does that mean? Non-photo ID.
You can show your social security card, which has no photo on it.
But it's still an identification.
It still is an identification.
Yeah, but I could steal yours. I mean,
I could take yours and take
vote 9 times. Like, sure.
It has no picture on it. It has no, the signature is old. Yeah. But it has a social security card has no picture on it to verify it's you.
And who's to say that I don't hand it to
Joe as I'm walking out, who hands it to Bob, who hands it to Jim, who I don't know.
It's not a good form of ID. Where is a social security card?
There was something actually, you know what? And there was I think I probably skipped it up here by accident. Or maybe I didn't. There was actually a story about, and I'll be damned if I can't find it now. It doesn't matter.
No.
There's still, so from the 2020 election.
Yeah.
There is a court case in Michigan, if I remember correctly, because they are suing to not take dead people off the voter rolls. Really?
That came up in the last. That came up in the last.
They're suing to not.
The state wants to keep dead people on the voter rolls.
How?
What?
So it wasn't okay. I saw a video where a guy, I believe he was from Michigan, he was on the website. So he was, what do they call him? A voter judge.
Yeah.
And he
a Buddha judge.
Yeah.
Buddha judge.
Little different.
Okay.
So he had access to the voter rolls
or whatever. Okay.
So he actually brought up dead people and it showed that they had voted.
Jesus.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, that showed up actually in a lot of places.
So my mom was a teacher forever, voted by mail. That's how I knew, like, I just thought that's what you did. Like, I didn't know any different. I remember when you went to the polls and you like punched through the hole.
Right.
Yep.
Me and Keith are talking about that. Like I remember that when I was younger and I went with my mom, and then she became a teacher. And so she did the mail-in ballot. So she got her mail-in ballot for 2 elections after she'd passed.
Oh, wow.
And we sent it back like she's passed, like please take her off. And they still sent it the next 2 times. So
if that's happening with one, how many other people?
And how many people could have just marked it, or they didn't even send it to them and they just kept it and put it in for whatever they wanted.
Exactly.
And Wendy, you're absolutely right. So Wendy just put up there that it's not going to happen. So
what was it? Let me read it.
So the filibuster is what they were going to need to do.
What is the filibuster?
So the filibuster is a procedural rule, not a law. It's a procedural rule within the Senate that says that you have to be able to have 60 votes to pass something.
Okay, so you have to the majority.
So more than the majority. You have to have 60 instead of just 50 plus the vice president voting.
That's the majority.
So that being said, for certain things, and there's a bunch of different rules about it and stuff. So the House got rid of the filibuster years ago.
Okay.
I think they did it under Republican rule. So, I mean, this goes both ways. And so, but Joe Manchin has said for weeks, months, he's not going to get rid of it. He's not for that. And Kyrsten Sinema, while Joe was in Congress,
might as well bring up our non-hooker of the week.
Non-hooker of the week. Dun, 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 before John tells his story.
No, John can tell it because he knows.
Go ahead.
Well, I know, but do my music.
Put her up.
Do my music.
Really? We have to do
do the music.
Yes, you have to do the music. It's right there on the bottom.
So instead of hooker of the week, it's the
non-hooker of the week. Dun, dun, dun. Ta-da! I don't like her, though.
So Kyrsten Sinema. So now she's hard to not like, though.
She's really not.
I come at it from the standpoint of
she is trying to find middle ground in an era where it's either way left or way right. Yeah. So I give her a lot of credit that she is trying to, and she's making a concerted effort to be that middle ground and to have other people follow her in that quest for middle ground.
And to that point, I'll give her another kudos. She ran on that. She ran on the idea that she was going to be middle. She wasn't going to be far left or far right. Yep. She ran that she would be middle, and she has stayed that way the entire time.
She's one of the few politicians that has remained true to her word.
Yes. I didn't like her at the beginning either.
Her for that.
What do you say? She's still a hooker.
Wendy, I agree with you.
Yeah, but in this respect,
in this aspect, she's okay, but
support her.
I still don't. I'm still with you.
And she's very right. And so, others in Congress on both sides of the aisle have said that if this happens, this is going to go bad for us in a year.
Mm-hmm.
For the Democrats, because then, all the indications say that the House and the Senate are both going to turn. And so you take away the filibuster, you're not going to get anybody, let's face it. It's Washington. They're not going to put it back in place. Once it's destroyed, it's destroyed. They're never going to.
They released a statement this week saying that the Democrats used the filibuster something like 350 times last year.
Right. So it doesn't matter. And there's so many times that they've had Biden say that he's against getting rid of the filibuster going back years, and including when he ran, he said it as a candidate in 20. They have Schumer, who has said that he was against getting rid of it, all these different types of things. So you can turn me off.
I was reading Wendy. Facebook is trying to get me for saying she needs to get a head out of her ass. They just sent you a message, Wendy.
Oh, really?
Like they were just like, Wendy, stop telling her to get her head out of her ass. That's not right.
You have a private message.
You're gone.
Ding ding.
I'm surprised we're still on Facebook right now.
Yeah, right.
Hey, shut up! I was just going to go on Facebook and be on there with everybody.
Gab.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
And Getter.
Getter. So what is Getter?
It's a social media site.
It's like what is it? Like a YouTube, like a Facebook?
No,
like
it's more like a Twitter. Yeah,
it's like a Twitter.
Yeah,
it's like a Twitter, but it's supposed to be
free speech.
But we're also questioning that because there was a huge.
Hold on. This is me believing you.
So, long story short, there's a whole thing that Joe Rogan brought up when he got on Getter, a month ago or something like that. And then something came up just the other day, and he's saying that he's finding out more and more about Getter has got some sketchy background stuff going on.
Oh, really?
I bet it.
Well, he's saying that Getter is stealing Twitter people.
So it's not even that.
That doesn't surprise me. Twitter's canceling everybody.
I ended up reading this whole article from a computer scientist out of San Diego State, and he wrote this whole. I wasted probably 10 minutes of my life reading this whole thing or skimming through it, trying to find what the whole gist of it was. And they are doing just as bad data scraping as everybody else.
Nobody else. I mean, it's all going to be. This is the thing: is it's all got that agenda. No matter what you are, no matter what you're promoting, you all have that agenda.
Allegedly, and I'm still researching. The one that doesn't allegedly is Gab, because Gab is not allowed to be on the Play Store or the.
Gab's not that funny though.
I know.
I want to.
Good job, Wendy.
So
I can't believe you haven't gotten kicked off.
No, hold on. I want to give a shout out to Facebook, because obviously somebody from Facebook is watching our show right now. Because they just tried to flag her for the comment she made.
Oh.
So they're obviously watching our show. So thank you for watching our show.
Yeah.
We appreciate it.
Welcome.
Oh, somebody reported her?
I won't say anything.
For saying what she said about cinema. She already got a warning.
I won't say anything about.
How come we're not flagged?
I know, right? So thank you. Thank you, Facebook, for keeping us on.
I won't say anything about certain people then.
Then don't. Because we will get kicked off. Yeah. Now they're watching us real close.
How did we get so lucky to be on that list?
So the one key point I want to take away. Do you like
my shirt? Facebook?
Stop.
Sorry.
Now she's just like, poking the cage, right?
No, you got to stop doing that.
I'm so sorry.
You want to get us kicked off?
Okay, Bongino.
Look at all the people that are watching us on Facebook right now. You're going to get them all kicked off, and they're going to have to switch over to YouTube.
I'm just saying. They'd be proud of me.
Rumble. Come on, Rumble.
We got to start building up
Rumble. There's me and John watching Rumble.
We cannot get kicked off of Rumble as easily.
Literally, me and John.
Kicked off the Rumble. That's the thing. We won't get kicked off Rumble. But no, one of the things I want to point out about the whole election process and the rules about elections specifically is to say you must be a U.S. citizen.
Yes.
So it's a rule.
I don't fully agree with that.
Why?
Because look at your buddy Craig. Not a citizen.
Yeah.
Not a citizen. Still pays taxes. Sorry. Still pays taxes. Still is a active partnership in the U.S. in our community. I would 100% let him vote.
I don't agree with that.
Why?
Because I think you have to be a U.S. citizen.
You have to be a citizen.
What is the difference?
That choice. That you're
Do you know how hard that fucking test is?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't.
No.
That's the law.
I agree with that.
It doesn't matter.
But do you know how hard that test is?
It doesn't matter. It's the law. That's the thing. We can't just.
So where do we draw the line?
Right. We can't just say, "Oh, it's hard." So let's
not make it gray. It's got to be black and white. We can't make a lot
I agree with that.
But
if you are a card carrying green card citizen, because what's Craig? He's considered
he doesn't have a green card. He's here on a
visa, right?
Work visa. If you are still a work visa, you're still paying taxes. You're still putting into our community. You're not being in jail. You're not doing anything bad. I still think that you should be able to vote.
Nope, the right to vote is being a U.S. citizen. That's the right to vote. That's one of the rights you have as a citizen.
So I agree with that.
That should not be altered, in my opinion.
But the issue, the other side of the coin is the fact that, and I love that LC thinks the world is a great place.
That's cute.
That's usually me.
That's cute that you think that. I think that. That's adorable.
But how many, the southern border is a prime example. How many times are you hearing a month about they caught, and it's not even who was the something 13 that Trump had brought up.
The gang, the 13 Is that the gang you're talking about?
Yeah, that and they're they have been notorious for murders and things like that. But on the other hand, they're also finding that there are
what is that gang though? They're not going to be able to vote because they're not green card carrying citizens. They also have jails and stuff against them.
My point is that there are people looking to do bad things that are crossing the border.
They're going to no matter what.
True, but what if they decide, okay, if I can just vote and I can just, because the Chinese allegedly have hold on. The Chinese and CAIR CAIR have documents that both talk about how outbreed the United States, destroy the United States from within using their own voting laws, things of that nature. And so if you open that up to more non-citizens to be able to vote, it's not the people that are just here and want to do their, they just want a better opportunity. It's the people that come over the border that, whether legal or harm. Yeah. And they intend to do harm. Right. They want death to America.
Fine. But that's fine. Getting a green card isn't an instant thing. Like you have to show your stuff. You have to do your stuff for 6 months.
You can come over on a work visa.
Right. You can, but it's not an instant thing.
No.
So it's not like these people who want to do harm are going to come here, keep their nose clean for that long to be able to vote.
How do you prove that they're keeping their nose clean?
Because right now, as soon as you get your nose not clean, you don't get to vote anymore.
One of the biggest cyber problems right now in the United States are coming from Iran.
Yeah.
So now, if all of a sudden they get a chance to be able to vote and they're saying, all right, go get a work visa so you can go and work for, because right now, guess what, back in that U.S. News and World Report of some of the biggest jobs.
Potato shortages.
Well, the other thing is the fact that they say cybersecurity is a huge that they have,
we're outsourcing it.
So if you could go and say, so the Iranian government says, all right, you 50,000 people, you're going to go to the United States on a work visa and get jobs working in cybersecurity. Are we not letting the fox into the hen house?
Big time.
But I don't know.
See, and this is where
you're telling me that's not
a lot of gray area.
Angela.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Say it out loud.
You want to know what? I love you. Because this is so I love my Angela. So this is stuff that I've been opening her eyes up to slowly but surely. She unfortunately is part of that class that just gets looped in by the media. So if I don't, I've been having, hey, go watch this. Hey, go see this. Hey, go look at this. Don't just listen to the news in front of you, because that's all she knew. She didn't know to look any deeper. So now I've kind of sent her off in these different, like, make sure you look at more than just one thing, because she was looking at just one thing. She was going to go get the vaccine. She was all for it. She was like, we need to do this. We need to, I'm like, no. Please, like, look at other things. Don't just watch the TV in front of you. And I'm amazed that
make an informed decision.
Yes, right. Of what she's come back with me at, because she's been looking at these other places. I'm like, you can't just turn on the TV and assume that they're going to tell you the truth. Like, they don't give a shit about you. They don't care about you.
Right. You're just a number.
You're just a number. You're just somebody else to follow along with them. You're just another number in their pile. Like, you have to do the research for you. So I'm super, super proud of her that she's looked at those other places and not just become another number on their in their counter.
Wendy's got a question. Wendy's got a question.
Are you saying that as long as they have a green card, they should be able to vote without a valid state ID? Lindsay, that's a green card, should be okay to vote. I just heard the last bit of the conversation.
Yes and no. So can you get a state ID with a green card? I don't know anything.
Yeah, you can still get a driver's license.
Yes. So why, if
you have to have one,
if you are a green card citizen and you're here or on a work visa for 5 years or whatever that is, and you're working and you're paying taxes and you're putting into your community, why would you not be able to vote? Why not? You're putting into that community. Why would you not be able to say that your tax dollars that you're paying are able to go to this school or to that school or to this
Because
whatever. Do the extra step by becoming the citizen so that
it's
you can.
hard.
So what?
It's hard.
Right.
No.
Wow. It's hard. It takes 5 years, 10 years. I understand. I know people have gone through it.
It's a shit ton of money.
The bottom line is our country.
Wow.
Bring it down.
He's passionate.
No,
He's
I'm passionate about it because exactly what my dad says right here. You start opening up the door. If you're here, why are we taking the illegal?
I'm not saying.
Hold on. Why have we taken the illegal out of illegal?
Wow.
What?
We have taken the illegal out of illegal. You've broken the law if you're here illegally. Now, your case...
Illegally is 100% different. You want to be here illegally, that's fine.
Let me finish.
That has nothing to do with what I'm talking
about. The right to vote in this country, you are a U.S. citizen. No, I'm making a point. Should this be my rant? It's not my rant. I have a different rant for tonight.
Are you sure? Because I think this might be it.
No, the right to vote in America is based on you being a U.S. citizen.
Okay.
Period. There's no gray line.
Right.
If you want to become a citizen, you become a citizen.
Yes. I am telling you, from somebody who went through it with a family member, it is fucking ridiculous.
Okay.
So hold on. Let me finish.
That's only fair.
So
are we gonna have to separate you two?
No.
That's it.
So until the U.S. gets its head out of its ass and makes this actually doable and manageable for somebody who comes from a different culture to be able, no, don't shake your head, to be able to get into the U.S. on a legitimate term, I don't think that is correct.
Okay, now think about that for a second. And just we're going to jump into politics, just pure politics for a second.
Okay, hold on.
Okay, she needs that shot, that little.
Because think about it.
Little extra something.
They can come up with Build Back Better. They can come up with voter rights. They can come up with everything. They've been mouthpiecing immigration reform for a decade, and they can't come up with that.
I don't know what that means.
To make it easier for someone to become a
to all aspects, from the dreamers that were brought over as children, illegally, and how do they get those to become citizens?
Yeah, who've been here literally their whole life anyway.
Streamline and make a better system, including vetting. Both sides make it an easier, better, more streamlined system, but also include vetting of those that want to become citizens. Yeah. They've been talking about that for over a decade. Because
you can't remove your head out of your ass. And that's not something they're concerned with. Because if I still play the game, I can still have you vote even when you're not a citizen.
Nobody agrees with you.
You want to know what Angela
says? Angela says, I want to know if Angela.
Angela!
Yes, I was just going to say, I want to know if Angela agrees.
My dad says, nope.
Shh, nobody listens to you.
Shh. And Wendy says, nope. And
no, because it is. Okay,
it's got to be black and white. It can't.
No,
because when you start going into a gray area,
it is too hard to get your citizenship. It is bullshit that you don't need to know as a citizen.
Then we need to change that.
Right.
Yes. But the law for the voting for.
If you make it easier, I 100% would not make you feel as if you have a green card, you need to be able to do it.
Then that's
because the people who have a green card can't get their citizenship because it is so much bullshit. Nobody knows this. It is the stupidest shit in the world that has nothing to do with real life.
But you know what? I have the utmost respect for anybody who goes through the procedure.
Absolutely. And does it on their own.
Goes through all the steps to become a U.S. citizen.
It's so hard.
So what about the hundreds of millions that have
already done it?
Made it done.
I 100% bow down to them because
now does everybody
else?
Because this is the argument that
I can't make it.
Legal immigrants have said.
We've had
so
to do
why
that.
why does everybody else get to cut in line?
Exactly. And I get that, but that's why it needs to change. You're gonna have you're gonna have one generation of people pissed off because they had to do it the hard way, as opposed to the new people have to do it the new way. But it is so ridiculous. My medical book is this thick. It's thicker.
But
you can't test. But you can't change the voting laws.
Exactly.
No,
you're looking at the wrong topic that needs to be changed or looked at.
So my issue is you want to make every citizen to be a voter. I agree with that. That's fine. But you need to make that citizen test easier so that the people who have a green card, who are on that edge, who would love to become a citizen, but can't pass that test, that still doesn't change the fact that they've been paying taxes, that they've been abiding by our rules and our laws and everything. That doesn't change that.
So then basically
like
what you're
those
saying
people
is
still, to my respect, you are a citizen.
so becoming a doctor is way hard.
Fucking
right?
ridiculous.
Yep.
Right. So they should, because of that, and we are such.
Should we make it easier?
We should make it easier.
Fuck yeah, they should.
And they
because
should make
99% of my nurse practitioners that I know are smarter than doctors.
But
because as you're a doctor, you have to specify in one thing to pass that test, and that is your only job is to pass that test.
Wasn't this a commercial a couple years ago about
maybe
that commercial, the whatever the commercial was, Woo, yeah, just pass it. Finally,
is hard, Dad, and I studied it, and I couldn't fucking pass it. Okay,
but here's the thing:
do you want your pilot that had to fly your plane that had the test lowered so that way you can pass?
You're right.
If it still permits him to do the job and have the qualities to do the job, absolutely, that's fine.
So you're saying that
if you're lowering the quality,
you're not lowering the qualities.
Oh, now Bios the Bush getting mad.
Now you made him mad. Oh, yeah, you made. All right, dial it back, Dan.
I'm not saying take away from the main qualities of the test. I'm not saying that. Like, if you're a doctor, you still need to know how to read blood pressure. You still need to know what these diseases are. That's fine. You don't need to know the specificities of 50 different diseases that we haven't seen in 30 years. That you don't need to know.
Yeah, but if you run across
that is a specialist later. So that's not what a general family practitioner needs to know.
But so if again, they're the ones that are seeing, I know we're getting off topic, but if they're the ones that are going to see that, it's just like a dentist.
If it's 1 in a million and it was 30 years ago, they're not going to see that.
Yeah, but if
they do, they're not going to be able to send it to anybody.
So going back to the question,
they're not going to be able. Exactly, they're not going to be able to have any research on it. They're not going to be able to have anything on that because it's something we haven't seen.
It's just like dentists. They are now trained to spot cancer in mouths.
In Zoom, I would have a place to put a hand up, but I don't have a.
Excuse me, hello.
I have a question.
Okay,
hold on.
So your problem is more immigration reform, not
the voting law,
not the becoming a citizen.
My issue is becoming a citizen.
Well, or the voting. I guess you're Wendy's right.
Voting law.
So your problem is not necessarily the voting laws; it is the immigration.
No,
policies.
not necessarily.
Right.
No, my issue is that it takes so much to become a citizen that these people who are on green cards for so many years, who essentially have been a citizen for the last 10 years because they can't pass that test, 100% need to be able.
I'm going to break your heart, and I'm going to say, unfortunately, you are not going to be voted on to
Probably
replace Kristen Sinema in the Senate.
I don't like that hooker, so that's
right
okay.
now you're not getting.
I'm going
votes.
for president, so fuck Kristen Sinema.
Okay.
Hey! We're gonna get kicked off Facebook.
Oh shit! I mean, I love Kristen Sinema.
Yeah.
Oh wow! What a touchy.
We just got shut off.
What a touchy topic tonight.
Oh man, that was the third rail. Right there.
Buttigieg, I need a drink.
I'm gonna stick with it. That's our law.
You're wrong.
So did everybody? And I found
the law needs to stand. It may be some other things,
but we 100% need to look at.
We need to stop
becoming a citizen.
We need to stop breaking laws and making it acceptable to break laws.
Absolutely,
where we have gone over the top.
Absolutely.
We need to put the
we're gonna go through this whole battle.
That's okay.
How much is in there?
We need to put the death row back in and make it easier to get onto.
I mean, yeah.
Not if you can vote.
What?
If you get to vote off death row, then yeah.
You want to know how to not ever go back to jury duty?
Oh.
When they ask you about how do you feel about death row, you say, I think it's great. We should do it more often. They'll never ask you to come back
again.
So how do you feel about the 800,000 non-citizens that have now been allowed to vote in New York City elections?
What kind of citizens are they, though? Are you green card, carry?
You have to have lived. You have to be able.
But
to
if
prove,
it's a lot of gray area, who is going to sit through?
I'm not gray area though.
That is a gray area.
It's not though. If you have been like Craig, who's been here forever, you're paying taxes, you're abiding by our laws. You, to me, should be able to vote on what's happening in your area.
Can I answer your question?
Yes.
So the only requirement to be able to vote in New York City elections as of this first of the month is that they're going to, or what they're trying to pass, I guess, is the fact that you have to have lived in the city for 30 days.
No.
What?
Absolutely not.
Get
Absolutely
out.
not.
That's
30
it.
days?
30 days.
No,
You have to be able to prove that you have lived in the
not,
city for 30 days
No.
and you can vote in New York City.
that has nothing to do with what I was talking about.
But it's part of a gray area, though.
This is where the one domino falls.
Right.
And where does it stop?
If you don't have a black and white and you have gray, that gray starts getting bigger and bigger.
So if I can say that I lived in New York in a hotel room for 30 days, I can vote in New York.
Vote, even if you're illegal.
Absolutely.
Even if you're there illegally.
Yep.
Yeah, even if
That's
you're there
bullshit.
illegally.
Of course
See,
it
that's
is.
not right.
Of course it is.
And that's what they're talking about, where the law has got to be black and white.
Yeah.
Once you start getting into the gray areas about the green card or this or that, and you start making exceptions, where does it stop?
Yeah.
then?
And she's 100% right, because her and I have talked about this multiple times in the fact that I will give the Democrats.
Dad, I can't pass the test. What are you talking
You
about?
can pass the test. if you
There's
study.
no way in the world that I could pass the test,
You
and I
could
know
pass
that
the test.
100% that I can't pass the test.
Hey, you were going to
Because-
go to nursing school. I'm going to call bullshit
Right.
on
I'm
that.
gonna call
No,
bullshit on it too.
I can't do it. Like, it is so fucking hard. It's hilarious.
It can't be harder than nursing
It is
school.
so
She's
fucking
saying
hard.
that 'cause
Yeah.
she's
I can't
having
do it.
it.
I think
my
you
dad
can.
has seen the test, by the way.
You just
I
got to
know.
put your mind to
I've
it.
done the test.
She's saying that only
Like-
because she's having wine and
Look, here.
bourbon cream.
I've only had a bottle and a half
Let's back
of
up.
wine
Let's back up for
and
a
like
second.
4
Okay.
shots
And to
of
Lindsay's
bourbon.
point, let's look at what a work visa is. Okay, a work visa, to your point,
Yes.
is basically a permission slip to come to the country and work.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to work for
You are not.
Joe Blow.
It is not permission. It doesn't mean you're a citizen.
No.
Okay, so somebody with
But
a work
I'm
permit.
still paying taxes. I'm
course you are.
still
Because you're living
getting.
here.
You're living
yes,
here.
yes.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. So I'm still paying taxes for my community. I'm still being a good.
but
You got to put
Whatever.
absolutely, but
extra
For my
step.
community.
even so, we live
I'm
in
not
Arizona.
selling drugs and murdering people and
You still got
whatever.
to make that extra step.
But those
You-
that don't know, so we live in Arizona, and so we obviously, Arizona and Florida see the most amount of snowbirds that come in during the
True. Yep.
the winter.
Welcome to Arizona.
And so Wendy and I have several Canadian friends.
I'm sure you have
they're-
tons in your
They are
neighborhood.
such a fun crowd too.
And they're not even in our
I bet they
neighborhood.
are.
They're
No, but
just
they are
friends
such a
of my
fun crowd.
dad's.
All
that
they want to
became
do is
our
just
friends.
drink and have fun. And
Oh, I'm sure.
They are.
What else do you
Oh.
got to do?
They're
and
great.
so they are great, but they have to leave one day before 6 months.
They have to be home. Yeah. One.
They have to be
Oh, okay,
across the
'cause then it
border.
becomes
The
like-
moment they trip into the 6 months, they get taxed by the U.S. government.
Right.
Mhm.
And they don't
On
want
top
that.
of being
Yeah.
taxed by the Canadian government.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because they're
'cause
still taxed by, they're-
Canadian government because they're Canadian citizens, but when they come here, they're on vacation
But they can
essentially.
technically vote in New York.
They could,
They could.
but they're not going to go to New York. It snows.
Yeah. That would be
Touche.
a weird snowbird then.
Yeah.
But
I
should
go
they be
to
allowed?
6
But should they be allowed to vote in a
If
Arizona
you-
election?
If you come here again and you're working and you're giving taxes to your community during that time, see, I wouldn't say a snowbird though. I would say at least 5 years. So if you've lived here,
So now the
see,
gray area is getting
Yeah.
bigger.
it's
So
not,
you're
because
changing
you
the
have
gray
to-
area.
you
then.
have to put rules on it.
This is
so
how.
if,
This is
and you-
how.
So if you're going to be a green card carrier, you've been here 5 years, you've given taxes for those 5 years, you have a place to live. I 100% think that you should be able to vote in your local, maybe not federal, but your local.
It's
And in
Stuff.
certain
I have
areas
something
you
fun
can.
to do.
it's a
Yes.
slippery slope.
I
Yeah.
have
It's a
fun,
slippery
something
For
fun to do.
federal, I think
For
it's got to
federal,
be
probably
black
not,
and white.
but
It's
Quiz?
got to be
The
black
last 10
and white.
minutes.
oh shit, it's
Wow.
Oh, shit.
8:12.
I didn't even get to any of my stuff either.
Well, get
You
to
didn't
your
even
stuff.
get to your
It's
rant.
only 12 after we got, but I
I
just say I
think-
need the
Okay.
last.
We
I
can
need the
plow
last
through.
7 to 10
Okay.
minutes.
I think you got to your rant.
I just think, well, that was part of it.
I think I was
Wow.
involved in that.
I just think it's a slippery slope that we
Yes.
shouldn't go down. And one
I would
point I was
agree.
going to turn on is we look at all the illegals coming in now that we want to pay $400,000 per family.
Fuck you. You can go back.
Who do you think they're going to vote?
450.
Who do you think they're going to vote for? If we let them
Whoever's going to pay them
vote?
that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
it's
So
it's a
you're
money
gonna-
grab.
You
at
think
the end.
elections are rigged now?
And again,
you think about what would happen.
See, now that I don't think you should be there for. But if you're going to come here and you're going to work,
but you're making that exception that they're not
right. You're creating a gray area.
You're coming to this area to work to give back to your community. That's not though, because an illegal is different than a green card carrier.
The law is black and white. You have to be a citizen. You want to create a gray area.
John has his hand up in the Zoom meeting.
But to my point is the fact that it doesn't matter. Majority, minority, whoever is in Washington right now, they've been giving immigration reform lip service
just eating ice cream
for over a decade, and they have not made any. It doesn't matter who's been in the White House, who's been in Congress.
No, because nobody gives a shit about it.
It's been both, either a split Congress and White House, or it's been everybody ruling everything, and nobody's done anything.
No,
they don't really want to do it.
They don't care.
They don't really want to
because they're not the ones dealing with it. Because they'd rather just give free voting to everybody instead of actually give it to just the citizens.
Because back in the day,
we're giving it to dead people.
Back in the day, immigration used to, or not immigration. Back in the day, when I was in like grade school or high school.
Wow. You sure that wasn't like
the third rail of politics used to be abortion. Abortion. The third rail of politics used to be abortion.
Right. Wow, that's before me.
And so now it seems like the third rail of politics right now is immigration reform. They want to talk about it, but nobody wants to actually do it.
Because it would be the death to their career either way.
Well, nobody wants to talk about abortion anymore because we can't talk about your rights to your body.
Voting rights thing down so we can see.
He's afraid we're going to get kicked off.
Now we're not going to kick off.
I got something fun, Dan.
They love me. They won't get kicked off. But we can't talk about abortion anymore because it's your right to your body, and it can't be your right to your body when I'm forcing a vax on you.
Right, exactly.
Nope, agreed. Speaking
of that, that's a great way. That's a great segue.
Oh, okay.
Into mine?
All right.
Oh, I'm so excited. Can I talk about mine?
We'll talk about yours next. So I want to go into Keith's COVID update.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, come on, do this because I want to see this.
You want to see the picture?
I want to see the picture.
I'll take my shot now.
Has Wendy seen the picture?
Hilarious.
Well, you might want to take the shot before I put it in the picture because you might
stalk
across the room.
Wendy, I don't think has seen the picture.
All right, Keith's COVID update.
Oh my God, is that a jock strap on your face?
That is great. He has a diaper on his face.
Looks like a jock.
Wow, that beard is hilarious. What is that? Awesome? Like right
That's
here,
and
you can't put it?
I think I had the mask up too far.
I would say that's true, sir.
All right, so I want to do a quick poll to everybody who's watching us. So a quick poll. Does anybody out there think that the vaccines and the booster shots have been adding to the variants? That's my question. That's my quick poll.
What's your question?
Does anybody think that all the shots, all the vaccines, and the boosters have added to the variants?
That's a good question. I can't say that
I don't think
so. You think that it's changing so that we're getting the variants?
Yes. So let me put up this timeline that
they're creating the variants.
So April 2020, first cases of COVID, right, in the U.S. December 2020 is when the Alpha variant came about. December, also in the same month, we had the Beta variant. Also in that same month, we had the first vaccine, right? The first booster doesn't come out till September of 2021, but look what happens in between. We now have the Gamma variant, the Delta variant, and even pretty much the Omicron variant, which just came out.
What about the Nebrigid variant?
Yeah, there's that one too.
That backwards one.
Yeah.
So if nobody's gone and watched the Joe Rogan episode with Dr. Robert Malone, I urge
I'm listening to it again. It's so.
I urge you to watch.
Very good.
So
my goodness.
So the idea about a variant, okay, is a variant is a mutation in the original virus. So what it does is what's a virus's goal? To survive, right? Any way it can. So it's going to circumvent any treatments that we try to do, right? Viruses are smart. They know this. So the vaccine that was developed for what? The original COVID, right?
Correct. Yes.
The booster was for the original COVID.
Well, there's
But they keep saying that it's okay for the variant.
Don't use the word booster.
Why?
So
it's
because
the same thing.
It's the same shot.
Right. It's just another.
So you're just getting another shot of the same shot.
And that's
so when you
because
think
the
booster,
efficacy,
you think that it's changed.
It's not.
It's because, the same thing.
Right. It's
Give
because
him another shot if he can say efficacy.
Because the efficacy of the original vaccine is only good for X amount of time before now you're vulnerable to the COVID again. So if you go back to this timeline,
now
when the first vaccine came out, we're talking almost a year later before the first booster
I never heard about the
out.
beta or the gamma.
They talked about the beta early on. It wasn't very big. The gamma wasn't very big.
The beta was a hot second. And then it was gone.
The Delta was the biggest one.
Right.
And rightfully so. So all the vaccines that have been out so far, have no benefit to the variants. Because what happened, so when we talked about the original original virus, we talked about the spike protein. That was the big deal, okay? Mm-hmm. So the original vaccine was meant to duplicate that spike protein. Well, what happens, what they're noticing on all the other variants.
Is it duplicating it or is it filling in that inhibitor?
No. It's replicating it. So your body recognizes that spike.
I thought it was making the inhibitor so that it would fill that spike so that it couldn't fix to your.
It's making the spike. That's why that's why all the. I won't get into that because that's a whole nother tangent.
Okay, sorry.
We got a German Shepherd over here.
Go watch Joe Rogan's episode. Anyway, so what happens is with all these variants, the spike is now changing. It's mutating. Right. Okay. So the vaccine was meant for the original spike. We're now 5 variants in, the spike looks way different than it did in the initial one. So now none of these booster shots are working.
To me, it tells me that just like a flu shot, they give you the flu shot and it's only good for.
Well, they give you the flu shot based on last year's flu.
Right. But there's so many different variants out there.
So you have to, so essentially, let's say, what was it? We looked it up last year. I don't remember how many, or last week, however many there is. I want to say 18 of one and 12 of the other. So H1N1. So the year after H1N1, you got the vaccine for H1N1. But that year, if it's H1N2, you can still get the flu because if that H2 attaches to your body, you still don't have the way to fight that.
Right. But are we doing the same thing with COVID though?
But essentially, yes, because we're still going off H1N2 or H1N1. So if we're on H5N26, we're still giving the vaccine for H1N1.
Right. Correct.
We haven't changed it any because we haven't done the research to know what those new proteins are.
Right.
So that's the issue is every year. That's why they say, if you get the flu vaccine every year, you potentially cannot get the flu because you have, even if I have H1N1 and I have H2N2 from the last vaccines that I've taken, but now I get the new flu this year is H2N1, even though I haven't had a shot for H2N1, I've had H1N1 and H2N2, I can still put that together and fight that virus because I have both of those proteins.
Can I say my head hurts?
Yeah. You put that down in the matrix.
I can't. I actually have that all set up from my anatomy stuff.
I'm sure it all makes sense to you, probably.
Yeah. Absolutely. So,
but the test is too hard.
Yeah, right.
Fuck you. Shut up.
You lost all 3 of us.
Guys, we're going over tonight.
So easy.
No doubt we're going over.
How do you not understand that?
We still have more stuff to cover. So do your banner story real quick.
Fuck banner. Okay. Sorry.
Now
we're cut off.
There goes Facebook.
I'm so sorry. I take it back. I didn't mean it. No, I actually do. So I got this email from one of my girlfriends at the hospital who sent this to me with tons of laughing faces. So when they fired everybody on December 1st for not being vaccinated, they said that you have to get tested every 3 days. So if I work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, because a lot of nurses who work 3 12-hour shifts, which is what we work 3 days in a row. So if I work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm going to get tested on Monday and I'm going to get tested on Wednesday, but I wouldn't have to get tested on Tuesday. So it's an every 2-day test.
Amen,
so
Christine.
If I work, absolutely, that's why I'm drinking more. So if I work 5 days in a row, I have to get tested 3 times. I have to get tested on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday because it's every other day.
Okay.
So Banner sends out this thing day before. something like that. Wednesday, I think it was. And says that as of January 17th, we are no longer testing you when you come into work for the most part because everybody's positive is essentially what it says. So it says we carefully want to keep our team members safe while ensuring that there's enough workforce for our facilities to keep the doors open.
Yep.
Okay. So we are going to activate a crisis staffing process as of January 17th, which means that we are not testing members. So COVID-19 positive team members who are asymptomatic or mildly symptomatic or have significantly improving moderate symptoms who have missed less than 5 days of work will be able to continue or return to work using a mask, which you still have to wear a mask. So that's not changed whether you're positive or not. So essentially what this is saying is if you feel well enough to come to work, you can come to work and take care of grandma, who is a patient who doesn't have COVID. And me being COVID positive, I can then give you COVID, and that's fine.
And the sad part is, this isn't the first time I've seen this.
No.
I have nurse friends up in...
It's everywhere. So Honor Health has done the same thing as of this week. Why? And I understand the Omicron's going like crazy and everybody's going to get it and everybody's going to be positive. That's great. But if I am a nurse and I'm going to take care of, and I worked at Gateway, and Gateway was a mostly cancer-based.
Yes, they shouldn't have fired their
people who didn't want to be there. That's great too.
My point.
So they had to close a bunch of facilities. And our urgent care right up the road is one of those facilities.
They closed it?
It's been closed since Tuesday.
Really?
Hasn't been open every day I've driven by from work.
But 3 months ago, they fired her for not getting the vaccine.
Because we're not vaccinated. But apparently they had enough staff.
And so again, this is the pendulum that I keep. Mm-hmm. So the pendulum's got to swing so far and where people are going to just be like, and now we're at this is craziness. It needs, we need change.
The threshold.
So now we're at the, shit, we don't have enough people because we fired everybody and everybody's sick now. Maybe we shouldn't test people to know if they're sick.
Oh, you worked at McDonald's? Good, you're a nurse. Come on.
You're great. Let's go. Right? You can wipe an ass. It's fine.
And so, and I read so many articles today and yesterday about this one was just the best because of the way it was written, but is everyone eventually going to get the Omicron?
Yes,
they said
absolutely.
Basically, the percentage of people that will not get it,
it's like a cold.
Is going to be so small. But they said eventually and that there were several articles that said that basically getting the Omicron is going to give herd immunity.
Yes, it is the best.
And this will be what makes it
is what kills it out.
Well, or it'll make it the endemic.
Yes.
It'll just be like another cold, another flu.
You'll get the sniffles for a little bit. You'll feel like crap a couple days. You'll be done. This is what we need. This is what we've been waiting for so that it can go. Now, what we need to do, what we need to not do is keep locking things down.
Right.
Keep keeping these children out of schools. Let it spread. This is the least deadliest out of all of them. And let everybody get the sniffles. Let everybody stay home for a day or two, and then you'll be fine.
Wendy keeps slapping me for licking the shopping cart.
I thought you were going to say licking the toilets, and I was like, please don't do that.
I just laugh.
Please don't lick the toilets.
All right, can we do something fun? Or are you done?
Well, hold on.
Yes, I'm ready.
I'm not done, but we can do something fun. But no, my point to that is I don't see. Here's the problem: Delta's still out there.
It is,
and Delta's really still taking.
But so is the original COVID.
But they say that Omicron
it's still a virus.
Allegedly, Omicron is the most prevalent.
It
is what they say.
Yeah.
It goes
now, part of that is because of the fact that again, politics plays into it in the fact that
it is also the most easily
poll numbers
spread.
are in the basement.
Yeah,
and they need to start dialing it back.
It is also the most easily spread too. So Omicron is going to be no different than it is with the flu during flu season. You're going to cough, you're going to sneeze, you're going to leave it on the
good night, Wendy.
shopping cart. You're going to be fine.
Wendy, you're missing the
Love
best
you,
part.
Wendy.
Stick on for a couple more minutes.
We're going to be in Globe tomorrow.
All right, what do you got, John? What do you got fun?
All right. We are going to
But
settle.
bottom line,
I'm ready.
just get healthy and stay healthy.
Is it ABCD?
No.
Oh,
let's settle this.
So the audience can play at home, but they're not. Okay. We're not going to wait for their responses, but we're putting some of the best internet debates to rest.
Right, okay, here we go. I'm ready.
All right.
Okay.
Here we go.
How is it pronounced? GIF or GIF?
GIF. GIF.
I say GIF.
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 All right.
Giphy.
The internet has decided it's actually GIF.
GIF. Oh.
Was the dress blue, black, white, or gold?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
What dress?
Yeah.
Monica's dress.
Who's Monica?
Blue and black.
Clinton and Monica.
Blue and black.
Remember, there was the whole internet debate about is the dress blue? Is the dress black?
I'm gonna have to
Who
Google
cares?
this.
I think it's blue. Blue
hold
black.
on.
I always thought it was blue.
Who am I looking at?
Juice on it. Who cares?
What the fuck?
The white was minimal.
Who juiced on? Who juiced
the
on
white
whose
was not
dress?
the white.
You got to go back and read.
All right, so the internet decided it was blue and black.
Is that like the sneaker?
No.
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. What came first, the chicken or the egg?
Egg.
Chicken.
Egg.
I got 2 for the egg.
I'm saying egg.
Egg.
Why not?
Oh, 50-50.
Oh.
Come on.
Should a sandwich be cut diagonally or horizontally?
Who cares? Don't cut
Diagonally.
it at all.
Or like that?
Diagonally.
Horizontally.
Who cares?
Horizontally.
Seriously?
Ooh.
Are you serious?
That's like
Horizontally.
fighting words.
That's
huh?
not right.
So you gotta pick one.
I gotta pick one.
It can't be who cares. That's not an option.
Diagonally.
Don't cut it at all.
Yeah, that's not right.
Diagonally. Then I'll have to jump in here then. Yeah. Diagonally.
Yes.
All right. Is cereal a soup? I didn't even know this was a question.
No.
No.
I didn't know that was a question.
No.
Wow. The internet decided that cereal is not a soup.
It's cold. No.
Toilet paper. This is the big one.
Oh.
Over.
Should it be under?
Absolutely
over? And we've had this fight in the house before.
What?
I say under. But
it's over.
Over.
And I will change it if he does it under.
I do too.
It's not right.
Oh my God.
It does not.
It should be presented to you.
You want to know why?
Why?
Absolutely. Because cleanliness, you're going to take it up against a wall that's dirty.
Never hits the wall.
No, it should be presented
It could.
to you.
You never know. You have to bring it to you.
doing?
It shouldn't have to.
Literally.
I'm shitting fine. Thank you.
Pepsi
It goes
or Coke?
over.
Neither.
Coke.
Pepsi.
7-Up.
That's a Coke product.
Which is a Coke product, so you suck.
7-Up is Coke.
Oh, the internet
Oh.
No, hell no.
is
No.
He's a good no.
Oh, that's
Piece
like
is gross
putting
anyways.
anchovies on it.
Hell
And
no.
I'm surprised that this is the way it turned out.
Wow. That's almost 50-50.
Star Wars or Star Trek?
Oh,
Neither.
Star Wars.
Neither. Sorry.
I'm a
I
big-
know.
I'm a
I'm
big
breaking your
Trekkie.
heart.
I'm a big Trekkie, but I'm with Star Wars.
I'm gonna say Star Wars. Star Wars is better.
Okay, sure.
Should dogs wear pants either like this
What?
or like this?
No, like this.
They should
Yeah,
not.
no, like this.
They shouldn't wear
A
any.
or B?
B.
None.
B.
None
no,
of the
like,
above.
No, like this is the
None.
answer. Right hand side. There you go.
No.
Oh, the internet said no.
That's not right. That is right. Actually, no.
The
Like
jacket
this.
fit on the door in the movie Titanic.
What?
I don't know. I never
You ever
watched
seen
it.
The
No.
memes that shows that
No.
if she had just moved her ass over, Jack could have fit on the
No,
door.
he would have never.
Ah.
He would never fit. No.
I
You
didn't
don't
watch
think so?
it.
No, it would have topped. it over.
I no, they actually had college students that did this.
Really?
Talk about a waste of money, but
Right.
all right.
I'm
gonna
sure they're
say
gonna
yes.
say
You
yes.
gonna say yes?
Yeah.
I don't think you.
I
would.
didn't watch it.
I didn't know this was a question.
What?
No.
Are hot dogs a sandwich?
Technically, it is.
Yeah.
Technically,
It's
it is.
it's meat
Yeah.
between bread.
Technically, it is.
It's
Yeah.
meat between bread, which
Yep.
is the way we like our lives.
Oh,
Yeah.
they say
What?
No.
Come on. What's your
Oh.
definition of a sandwich?
Marvel or DC?
Marvel.
No idea.
Who cares?
Marvel.
Marvel.
Sure. Who's different?
Yeah. They're different.
Superman
comics.
is DC. Iron Man is
Batman's
Marvel.
Marvel.
So okay, hold on. What? Superman is DC.
Iron Man.
Batman's Marvel, right? Isn't
Huh?
Batman Marvel or DC?
DC.
Is he?
Batman is DC.
Man, Iron Man is Marvel.
Who is Groot?
Marvel.
Okay, I like group better.
Should we get rid of daylight savings?
Yes. But I don't know.
But we live in Arizona.
I live in Arizona. I've never had to deal with it. It's an amazing
Xbox
thing.
Or PlayStation?
Who cares?
Xbox.
PlayStation.
Xbox.
I'm gonna say Xbox.
Xbox. Damn it.
PlayStation.
What?
Oh, are we living in a simulation?
Yes.
Yes.
Right now we are.
Oh my God. So.
Yep.
No, we are not.
What?
No. So we have to stop on this second. So we had our daily sales meeting, which, ends up wherever we want it when nobody else shows up. So we had this chat about whether or not we're living in the Matrix. I swear to God. And one of our ladies, and I told her, I'm like, don't do it. Don't get sucked down the rabbit hole. Because she was telling me 3 days before this that she got sucked in this whole thing with this girl that watched a video that then, sent her to 9 other videos about whether or not Michael Jackson is still alive.
What?
And she's like, he is. I saw. And I'm like, well, of course, 20 videos in, you're going to believe that he's still alive. Like, of course, like you're in the rabbit hole, honey. Like you're done. And so she's telling me,
committed.
She's like, yeah, I'm like, it's over. They've now convinced you that your name is Sam. Like, it's fine.
Yeah, she believes the vaccine works.
Yeah. Like, I'm like, don't go down the rabbit hole. Now you're done. So she was telling me she watched this video about this girl. And this is what started the beginning of 20 videos about this lady who her sister's like, oh, I'm going to, go pick up food. So she goes to pick up food at Jack in the Box or whatever. And is supposed to come right back. Doesn't come back for 5 hours.
What?
The food is cold. She has no idea where she's been. And she was like, I literally just left Jack in the Box and came home. And her sister's like, no, not. Like, I've been texting you. Nobody knows where you are. Nobody knows what's going on. Like, she lost 5 hours.
That's called narcolepsy.
Right? I'm sure it is.
Right.
But that's what started the one video that started 20 other videos.
Jesus.
Then she gets to this video and she was telling me 5 videos in that she's watching this video of this mom tell this story about how she was on her way home from picking up her kid, and her kid, who's 4 or 5 years old, kindergarten, is in the back seat. When she gets to her mom's house, she goes to unbuckle her and she was like, mommy crash. And she was like, what? Mommy crash, mommy boom. And she's like, what are you talking about? So she pulls out her phone and starts video recording it. And she's like, what are you talking about? Mommy, we crashed. We boomed. There was fire. What are you talking about? Like, she's trying to figure this out. She still has no idea, but apparently her kid thinks they crashed and died. And she doesn't remember anything from when she picked her up.
Parallel universe type stuff.
Right. Yeah,
Exactly. And so I'm like, that's
See,
the rabbit hole you get sucked down into.
I want to pick Star Trek.
No. So I'm like, of course you can get sucked down that rabbit hole, like easily.
All right,
so I think yes.
Going back to an episode about 4 episodes ago, we were picking best Christmas movies.
Stu, no.
Here we go.
Yes,
Oh,
here we go.
Oh, there it is.
Oh no!
It's Die Hard, a Christmas movie.
All right, yes, absolutely.
No.
I wonder
No.
what's the
And,
internet
and you want to know what the internet says?
No. Probably.
No.
Yes, it is.
Oh, yeah. That is great.
Middle
Come
brownie
on.
pieces or edge
Middle.
brownie pieces?
Edge.
Edge.
I like
That'd
the
be
middle.
crispy.
Oh, right down the middle.
What?
Tastier. Wow,
Almost.
wow, that is. Huh? Wow.
What?
This one I never
What?
heard. I didn't know
Sock,
that was
sock, shoe, or sock, shoe, shoe.
Oh, okay.
Oh, sock, shoe, shoe.
Yeah, that's me too. Sock, shoe, shoe.
I don't
Socks
understand.
first.
There you go.
Sock, shoe. What?
No, they had.
No,
the
they
other
said
one.
sock,
when
sock, shoe,
you-
shoe is the correct way.
Okay.
I don't
No.
understand.
This
No,
one
no,
I
go
thought
back
was
up, go
funny.
back
So
up,
they
go
said you
back
put a
up.
sock then a shoe on, then a sock then a shoe on, or you put both socks on then the shoes.
Yeah, both
Oh.
sides. Oh.
Yeah.
I thought, okay, that makes sense now. I didn't get that.
I put both.
did
I
not
put both
get that.
socks on and then both shoes.
So some
Yeah,
people
same.
put
I
a
can't
sock
do
on and then
sock
put the
and then
shoe on.
shoe.
Oh my
and then
god,
sock and then shoe.
Oh, really?
That's not right. That's just
That's just-
madness.
Yeah.
That's
that's
great.
insanity.
That's
All
Okay.
right.
absolutely.
This
That's
one-
like
this
that's
one is
like your
for
toilet
nobody
paper
else
going in the
answered but
back.
Lindsay.
Fuck you. Hey, I converted not happily.
Go iPhone.
No, iPhone still sucks. but not happily.
You can't say
And
that.
so
Still
for
Android.
the behind the scenes, Lindsay had to get an iPhone.
Just wait.
She was not a happy convert.
It's
You'll
still not
love
right.
the
Still is not a happy
iPhone.
convert.
Like I can't gift people. It's not fucking right.
You'll love the iPhone.
Shit's not in the right place. I hand it to him all the time, and I'm like, make it stop
iPhone
doing
wins.
this.
Yeah, just wait.
iPhone wins.
No,
You'll
be.
become an
iPhone
iPhone
sucks.
lover.
It's terrible.
This is
Just
an
wait.
interesting one. I did not know this existed. Does a straw have one
2.
hole or 2?
2.
Well,
Oh,
technically,
Keith is thinking about this.
2,
Keith is actually
1 at
thinking
each
about
end.
this.
Stop anecdotally looking at it. It's 2.
one at each end. 2 holes.
I think it's one hole. It's one
2
hole,
hole.
one hole all the way through.
Does your pie hole go through to your crapper hole? Is that one hole?
Smooth or chunky?
Wow.
Oh, chunky.
Chunky. Both. I like both. Yeah.
Oh,
Thank you for participating.
All right.
I didn't even answer that.
it's chunky. You like smooth though.
That was fun. That was cool.
It was.
I
It was a
thought that
good
was
show.
interesting when I saw that. There were a couple good ones. I was like,
That was good.
Die Hard Christmas and
So
iPhone. I'm like, yeah, I'm
That was
in.
great.
I'm in.
He was all over that. So, all right, real quick, I want to end with my rant for the day. So,
All right.
I did a-
You already
You
had one.
said
You
I
don't
was
get to
gonna
have
Oh,
say-
you
two.
get 2?
that wasn't my rant.
Man.
No, that just
That was
riled
that
him
was
up.
that was my
RHIP, right?
Yeah,
He was ramping up for the rant.
Yeah, that was
Okay.
my bad. Sorry.
So I'll make this real quick. So they are now attacking Joe Rogan because of his
What?
interview with Dr. Robert Malone.
So on the 30th, his interview.
So they're, if
Oh, he's a menace to public health. Wow.
he's a menace to public health because he talks about
Putting an end to COVID.
no, not
So the short version of this is that he is the guy that invented the mRNA.
So Robert Malone is the guy that invented the mRNA vaccine.
Technology.
So they go to say in this article, and this is put out by the Rolling Stone, by the way.
By who?
Rolling
Really?
Stone. Dr. Robert Malone, a virologist who touts himself as one of the architects of the mRNA technology. No, he doesn't tout himself. He has
He
proof.
is.
He has the patents.
Right. He has the patents. He has
He
the
is
proof
the
that he
dude.
9
developed.
patents, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
the fucking dude.
So Robert Malone had been banned from Twitter for promoting COVID-19 misinformation. What misinformation is he saying? Because he's speaking the truth?
He said that
And now they
he
gotta stop
Nobody
him.
wants to
took
hear
the
the
initial
truth.
vaccination.
Well, no, because
And he
we've
were-
been I've been listening to this thing.
Well, John
And
was
so-
just going to say what he heard too. On it.
Sorry. So the issue is that he is giving information that will promote vaccine hesitance.
He's not,
Which-
though. He's making
but-
people aware.
But awareness is going to promote vaccine hesitance. So essentially, having an informed decision is going to promote vaccine hesitance, which is why Twitter has taken you off, which is why Facebook is going to be mad, which is all of that is because you can't have an informed consent anymore because you can't see that other end.
I thought
No,
Joe-
that's just a stinky situation.
yeah.
So,
No, it's
so to your point, he took the vaccine.
he took the
He did.
vaccine. He
Right.
took the vaccine and he had issues.
He had side effects.
Huge
Yeah.
issues.
And so
Huge.
Yeah.
he is
Not
he is
baby
publicly stated
issues.
that he will not take the booster.
Right.
Right.
Well, and he
And therein lies the whole issue.
Right.
And then he started not touting, I guess that's probably the wrong word. He started speaking out about the fact that there have been understated reports of of women having menstrual problems.
huge. So
Yes.
I know that
And
personally.
so that was the other straw that got him banned was the so for the hesitancy was the fact that he, being the architect and holder of 9 of the patents for the mRNA, say that right?
MNRA.
whatever, so that he took the vaccine but was not going to take the booster because he had side effects, and the fact that he reported the fact that there were women that were having menstrual problems, and that was the last straw.
Well, and then he was talking about the male boys that have the huge myocarditis issues. So they're having the high blood pressure, they're having the heart attacks, they're having all of these issues at 13 to 15 after getting these shots, which are pretty
significant.
It's rare. No, it's rare when they start
not
showing
rare,
up.
but it's not normal. It's really fast after they get the shot. Like it's within a week.
Well, he talks about how athletes who are in prime shape, been in prime shape
their whole lives,
taking the boosters, taking the vaccines, now all of a sudden they're starting to drop dead out of nowhere.
Done.
You know,
you have 13-year-old boys dying on the field.
And I think the worst part of the interview for Dr. Malone and why they're calling him out on it is the fact that he's saying that the lengths that the pharmaceutical companies will go through to hide evidence,
their side effects,
to change the results for their benefit, so they get something pushed through. That's the point where I think he's getting in trouble.
They're not essentially. He's not essentially changing the results.
I'm laughing because I just noticed that Christine was answering all the questions. God bless.
No, that's funny. So he's not essentially changing the results, but he's making them aware of the results.
No, the pharmaceutical companies are changing the results.
But they're not changing it.
Yes,
they're just hiding it.
No, they're manipulating the results. He said that specifically in this interview. They
results. Yes,
they're not being honest about what they're reporting.
Right, they're not running the full tests. So it's not even that they're doing a full spectrum test out of it. They're not doing a good.
There's that, and the results that they have, they're just not being forthcoming with them.
Well, the results that they have, they're taking 90% of the people out, so it really doesn't matter.
Exactly.
They're only keeping the people that are in it, which is why they're not doing an actual pharmaceutical study on it, because they're like, oh, that one girl that was 13 or whatever that had the NG stuff with the seizure, they're like, oh, you had a stomach ache. We're just going to take you off because you won't get the second shot. Well, you need to keep her on. Like, there's a reason why she didn't get the second shot. Don't just take her off and take her out of your numbers.
Exactly.
Because they're
hiding certain results.
They're changing
not being forthcoming.
So they're not showing the actual results that they're getting. They're just showing the ones that they're manipulating.
Right.
So the article I read earlier about this, this was the second article that I found, stated that there was 350 well-known physicians who wrote an email to Spotify or wrote a letter to Spotify asking to take Joe Rogan down.
Are you serious?
Because they were horrified by the misinformation.
Horrified. Oh.
So it's like this goes back to the cancel culture. This goes back to we've got to shut up the opposition. That's what it is, because people want to spread the truth.
And he never said that I recalled in watching the interview. Don't get it.
Not once.
No, he didn't.
He just said that he would not get the booster.
No.
Right.
And that there have been reported problems with
other things,
with women and with
children
other things.
And everything else.
Yeah. So all this, he never said don't get the shot.
Nope.
He's just allowing people
you
right. He's
informing of things that have happened.
Yeah.
He is also giving you places to go look up these studies that are actually happening that are non-biased.
Right.
So never in my life, granted, it's not that long, but never in my life have I seen a research study that has not been able to be produced, that has not been able to be done, that we have not been able to sit down and talk about all different sides of it from all different countries. Never in my life. That's how we learn. That's how science is made, is having those different oppositions to be able to come together and say, okay, this is the common ground. Just because you have a black person and a white person, yes, things might be different, but this is still the same. Like, that's what we need to go after. So we have all these different cultures. We have India, who's doing amazing in this, by the way. Exactly.
But he is on a roll tonight. You are
seriously,
on a roll.
shit, I riled him up. My God.
Man.
So never in my life have we been able to have these different countries that can't come together and bring our studies together. What's the country that we can't talk to?
India.
They're
hiding.
So India is hiding what they're doing to actually protect their people. So they have a whole regimen. When you get sick, they have a whole regimen. They give you a whole nice little tidy little packet we don't know yet, that they give you when you're sick. We can't know what that is. It has still yet to be.
We know what it is.
Come out. No, it still hasn't been. It's been yet to be confirmed what it is. But yet they have the best numbers for COVID and COVID deaths. But Joe Biden had a meeting with them and will not let us know what it is.
So to feed off of that, why is it that, and I've always thought this from the very beginning, that we had Fauci and what was the first lady's name?
Dr. Burke.
There were two.
Fuck a what?
Dr. Burke.
So I really liked her.
Just Dr. Burke.
She kept criticizing me because back in the very beginning, I kept talking about Dr. Burke and the little short guy. And she goes, his name is Fauci. Whatever. Dr. Burke and the little short guy.
Why was there only the little fucking short guy? People, the face of COVID. Why wasn't there a whole panel of doctors
different doctors?
I want pediatricians.
I want cardiologists.
Right.
I want everybody.
It's very much. You're 100% true in the fact that if you look back in the early days of 2020, who was the big dissenting voice that said basically the opposite of what the White House was saying?
No idea.
The CDC director, who is a pediatrician. Or not the CDC, the
WHO.
Who was so involved?
WHO
lady?
No, the
nothing. Okay, somebody.
Okay.
Who's like the guy in charge of? He's got
the Surgeon General.
Surgeon General.
Thank you. Okay, I'm like the guard. The guy.
I really like that guy. I mean, the guy was. I really have a huge respect for him. So the Surgeon General during the Trump administration was the one that kept saying, "No, we're not going to wear masks. It's a bad thing. It's a bad idea.
Yeah.
Don't do it." And then he even said, just wash hands, wash hands, wash hands. Mm-hmm. And then he even said, and he brought it up, and it was something that some of us don't realize when he goes, I didn't realize that there were so many people on, the Navajo Nation that don't have running water and things of that nature.
No.
And I know I've said that in the past. And so, I mean, I was hanging on every word that he said because I thought
he actually knew.
Here's a guy that that's doing the research and finding out and digging into the situation.
Yep.
I wish I had his name handy. I just don't have it memorized.
But why weren't there more people with different backgrounds
this panel?
And not just looking at the virus through a microscope and seeing what it does, but we're actually treating people,
looking at its patients.
Exactly, because there were those that were treating it with alternative methods that were having huge success, but they were shut down. They were ostracized.
100%.
Why was that?
There's
why wasn't it?
Because it makes no money.
There's an even simpler answer. The World Economic Forum.
Oh yeah.
That's all I'll say. 2 months before COVID hit, they ran a test run.
They ran a meeting that ran a test run on what would happen,
on how they would treat and what would happen with a pandemic,
if there was a pandemic.
They knew this was coming.
Well, what about their newest meeting?
Call me what you want. Call me a conspiracy theorist, but the bottom line is you could have gone on their website and read all about it because they posted on their website.
What about the newest one? Are we not waiting for that one?
I don't buy that, but it is what it is. But that's to answer your question. That's what this was all planned. It was planned. It was planned to have the vaccine.
Just a test run.
Planned. Huh? Yeah, absolutely. I 100% agree.
Oh my God.
Never in our history have we had a virus that has done this. Never have we reacted to a virus this way.
So let's go back to what you just said. Never in our history have we had a virus that has done this. Yes, we have. We've had a virus that has spread this quickly.
I'm not talking about that.
Hold on. We've had a virus that has killed multiple people. We haven't had a virus that has been politicized and feared so much as we have had this one.
We've never had a virus that has gone after specific systems of the human body.
No, that's true because it's man-made. But we've made it into this big, huge thing that it's not.
Polio didn't?
Polio didn't go after specific things. It was the exact same thing in every single person.
This either attacked your lungs or it attacked your heart. Based on
why were there people with polio that ended up losing limbs?
Because that's a side effect of polio. That's a symptom of polio.
That was
but there were people that got polio, and unfortunately, I did way too much research on polio this week. And why were there people that got polio and they got nothing?
But polio wasn't. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know much about polio. Was it not a neurological issue?
No.
Yes.
It wasn't neurological.
No. You know what causes
it?
Polio?
Attacked the brain.
You know what causes polio? This is
they hit the artificial lung.
So, that's because it kills the nerves that kills your. So it's neurological.
It's a human-only disease that's caused by fecal matter.
I knew that because it was in stool.
Getting into the body.
but it's still.
But what is it attack?
And there are still, to this day, there are countries that still deal with it.
Right.
Yeah.
To this day.
Yeah. We still have 5 Americans that are on iron lungs.
But my point is, it attacks your neurological system. That's what it goes after.
It attaches. It attacks multiple things in your body. They say it technically starts in your gut, and then it can happen. It can feed its way through your body. Again, I did way too much.
So the reason why
I went down this, talked about going down rabbit hole.
Right.
Yeah, all of a sudden I watched the 20 videos.
So
on polio.
so everybody's gonna get polio.
Oh
but so it ended up you ended up in an iron lung because it attacked your nerves to where you didn't know how to breathe in and out.
Right. It finds a weakness in your body. And so it ends up attacking that weakness in your body. So some people lost limbs, some people lost lungs, some people lost their lives. So it in essence, I'm very, very broadly paraphrasing the fact that it found a weakness in your body and it just attacked it.
I'm gonna have to read it.
Now I have to read in on that. That's not how I took it. But again, I didn't go down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Oh, I watched all the videos.
John,
I'll have to bust out my books.
Yeah, we'll have to take a look at that
and see how my books are against your.
All right, we're definitely out of time. We went over. I want to thank everybody for joining us this week. We got off on little tangents here.
Sorry, guys.
Because we never do this.
Putting it mildly.
Keith had 2 rants today.
Well, I had a rant not by design.
Oh, you were super.
He was ramping up.
I don't know how we're still on YouTube.
Facebook.
Yeah.
I mean, YouTube's fine. Facebook was my.
Oh, there's somebody that's got the report all filled out. They're just waiting to hit click.
They're waiting to hit click because we're not done yet, so they can't do it till we're stopped.
Yeah, well, next week it'll be sorry.
Facebook, thanks for joining us tonight. We appreciate it. Thanks for looking in on us and almost canceling Wendy.
hopefully not canceling.
Not that
hopefully not canceling because of me.
Right, exactly. That's bound to happen, but we know.
I know.
Anyway, I want to thank, as always, our first responders, our military, our
healthcare,
everybody who's on the front lines.
Thank you.
Home and abroad, we thank you very much for your service and what you do. And don't forget, I didn't make this announcement tonight. If you haven't already, go check out our Coffee Table Crumbs.
Yes.
Snippets of our episodes.
Oh, they're the best.
The last
Wendy and Keith almost peeing on themselves. It's hilarious.
Oh, my God.
That was great.
Go watch it.
So go check it out. We'll probably release another one this week. And until next week, this has been Coffee Table Chronicles. We will see you guys next time.
Bye, guys.
Adios.
Bye.